The habit of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was that after prayer he would ask his companions if anyone had seen any dreams the previous night. If someone had, he would tell them that he would interpret the dream. But one day something very strange happened. The Prophet, peace be upon him, did not ask his companions but rather said, "I saw a very frightening dream last night." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Last night 2 people came to me and woke me up in my dream and said, 'Intalik, come, come.' In my dream I saw 7 different scenes, and every Muslim should know about those 7 scenes." This dream is taken from Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 7047. Who were those 2 people who took Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with them? You will know this by the end of this video. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "We moved ahead a little, and we saw a man lying on the ground. There was a person standing right above his head, holding a huge stone in his hand. He struck the man lying on the ground with the stone, crushing his head. The stone rolled away and fell down, but the man's head was fixed again. Then the person with the stone picked it up and hit the man's head again, crushing it again." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "This kept happening repeatedly, so I asked those 2 people, 'Subhanallah, what is happening? What are they doing?' But they did not answer me and only said, 'Intalik, come, come.'" Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, continued, "We moved a little further and we saw another person lying on the ground, and above his head was a person with a hook made of iron. This person with the hook was doing 3 things. First, he would put the hook in the man's eye and tear it back from his head. Then he would put the hook in his nose and tear it back, and then he would put the hook in his mouth and tear it back again." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The person with the hook would do this repeatedly, tearing the man's eyes, nose and mouth, and every time the part of the body would heal and return to its normal state. I asked the 2 people who were with me, 'Subhanallah, what is going on? Why is this happening?' Again, they did not answer me and just said, 'Intalik, come, come.'" Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "We moved further and saw a huge furnace. It was shaped like a cone or a cylinder. When we looked inside, we saw a large number of naked men and women, and they were all burning in the fire. As soon as the fire flared up, they tried to escape, but the furnace was sealed. I asked, 'Who are these people?' But again the 2 people with me did not answer and said, 'Intalik, come, come.'" Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "As we continued forward, we saw a river as red as blood. A person was swimming in this river, heading towards the bank. On the bank, there was another person holding a stone. When the person swimming reached the bank, the person with the stone struck him in the mouth and pushed him back into the river. This happened repeatedly." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "I asked the 2 people again, 'Who are these people?' They did not answer, and only said, 'Intalik, come, come.' Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "We moved further and saw a very frightening person. He was so frightening that I had never seen anyone like him. He was burning a fire and walking around it. I asked, 'Who is this?' Again they did not answer, and only said, 'Intalik, come, come.' Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "We continued walking and came into a garden, a beautiful and lush garden. There, I saw a tall man, so tall that his head could hardly be seen, and around him were many children. There were so many children, perhaps more than I have ever seen in my life." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "I was amazed at seeing this, and asked the 2 people, 'Who are these people?' Again they did not answer and only said, 'Intalik, come, come.' Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "We continued further and entered another garden, even more beautiful than the first, and it had a gate. We reached the gate, and the two people told me, "Go up." So we climbed, and soon we reached a city. The city was made of gold and silver bricks. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When we entered, I saw people there who were so beautiful that I had never seen anyone as beautiful as them. But their faces had one side that was beautiful, and the other side was frightening and ugly." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "They gathered around a river, and the two people told them, 'Jump into the river.' So they all jumped into the river, and when they came out, the ugly side of their faces had turned beautiful again." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The two people told me, 'This is your palace.' When I looked, I saw a beautiful palace, like a cloud. The two people said, 'This is your palace. We will take you there when the time comes.'" Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The two people were angels, and they explained to me the meaning of everything I had seen. They said that the first person whose head was crushed by the stone was the one who recited the Quran but later abandoned it, intentionally leaving the prayers and ignoring the commands of Allah. The second person whose eye, nose, and mouth were being torn by the hook was the one who got up every morning and lied and kept lying all day and night. In simple words, the punishment was for the one who lied. The people who were burning in the furnace were those who committed adultery, and the one swimming in the river of blood was the one who dealt with usury, either taking or giving it. The terrifying figure who was tending the fire and walking around it was the keeper of hell. The tall person surrounded by children was Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and the children were those who died young before reaching adulthood. Finally, the people who had one side of their faces beautiful and the other side ugly were those who did both good and bad deeds. I pray to Allah to protect all of us from the punishment of the grave and the punishment of hell in the hereafter. May Allah protect our faith and keep us in His care. Fi aman Allah.